We are live. Hello, world. Hello, pro speakers, and welcome to another episode of our life changing YouTube series. Right? Our live classes powered by Prospeak Life Academy. Hey, everybody. My name is Joy Eshimhokhai, and I am the lead coach at Prospeak Life Academy. If you are joining us for the first time, please put in the chat box, I'm joining for the very first time. Yes, we're happy to have you. Yes, we're happy to have you, Daniel, Isabelle. Okay, Kola Ole Rhoda is already here screaming, go Isa, go Isa. Welcome everybody, and it's a joy to have you at our monthly live classes where voices are not just found, but they are unleashed. So throughout the year 2025, we've been having conversations with our SPTI champions, our speakers, our contestants. And today is another class, another discussion, another conversation with a queen, I dare say, with a queen that we have trained in the academy. So yes, the last one was with, who was with us last time? I need to hear it. Who was with us last time? If you were here with us, who was with us last time? I want to see it in the comment section before I move. Can you take a wild guess? It was very interesting last month. Who was with us? Daniel, can you guess? Rhoda, can you guess? And if you guess right, you're going to get a gift from me. But don't go back to the live session of last. JD, you're not a part of this. No, JD, no. No, JD, no. All right, tonight's session is a special session. Why? Because you're about to meet one of the youngest, yet most inspiring young people I've ever met. She has a voice, and like we say in the academy, your voice is your superpower. And this young lady has a voice that you want to listen to. Yes, you're about to meet her. She's one of the youngest voices, most inspiring voices of this generation. Yes, I said it. I said it. A voice that emerged from the Speak to Inspire platform. Yes, Isabelle is coming in. She's just in the room, and man, this young lady is composed. She's a leader in her own right. Right, so she wasn't just a contestant at the Speak to Inspire contest. If you haven't watched our Speak to Inspire contest 2024, you need to go back and watch it. Yes, we had 10 speakers, and you need to watch all 10 of them, inspiring leaders. Just young children ages 8, between 8 and 12, and they did amazing. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce this force. The force you're going to be meeting today. So do me a favor, go grab your notebooks, grab your popcorn, and grab your courage. Do not forget it at home, like they say in the teens unit in my church. So we have a public speaking unit in my church, and they say, don't forget your fire at home. So here, do not forget your courage. Grab it, because Isabelle and I are going to be having a leadership and boldness conversation. And trust me, you will live to remember this. Ladies and gentlemen, please, pro speakers, join me and make welcome to our live session, Isabelle Adams. Spread the red carpet. Spread the red carpet, people. Please, let's have it. Everybody, welcome Isabelle. Welcome Isabelle. Hey, Isabelle.
Hello, everyone.
Isabelle.
Hello,
Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you now. Hey, Isabelle. How are you doing? It's been a while, I must say. What have you been up to?
I finished my first year of senior school.
Nice. So, Isabel, just go ahead and introduce yourself to us.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabelle, and I'm 12 years old. I really like creative projects like designing stuff and drawing stuff, and I also like researching about like stuff that I don't know about. I used to be really quiet, but when I learned to speak, it helped me grow in different ways. Like in school projects, I can speak more. There was once we had to do this presentation to the year 10s of my school, but it wasn't that hard because I knew how to speak.
Okay, so one thing I didn't tell you guys about Isabel is that she is the research queen. So at the Speak to Inspire contest 2024, Isabel was our first runner up. And her speech was on leadership. I need you to go listen to that speech. It inspires me up to date. Isabel, we're going to play a quick game before we start the session. Are you excited?
Yeah.
I know you didn't see this coming. We're going to say a set of words, right? It's a sentence, and then you're going to finish it up for me. Feel free to say whatever you want, however you feel it. Is that fine? Great. So here goes. When I speak, I feel
Content.
Just
Content
content
and happy.
and happy. Nice. A good leader always
Listens to the followers and hears what they have to say.
You see, number 3, the microphone is not just a tool, it is a
platform to share your opinion to the
love,
world.
love it. I used to be afraid of, but now I
used to be afraid of talking in front of lots of people, but now I embrace it.
love it. Young voices matter because
they will shape the future generation.
To anyone who says I am too young to lead, I say
I know I can lead.
Yes. My voice is a gift because
I can use it to lift people up.
I love it. Isabel, a very big welcome to you, research queen. Coach JD's in the comments. And she says, a very big welcome to you, research queen. So you have a number of people just welcoming you and are excited to see you. And I'm going to be showing you on the screen so you'd see how excited the comment section is. Is that all right?
Yes.
Great. So did you always have something to say? Did you always feel like you had something to share, something to say? Or were you like me when I was much younger and I just felt, well, I don't have anything to say to anybody. I just want to sit at the back of the class and say nothing. Did you think you always had something to say?
Well, I always knew that if I have something to say and I know something, it's okay to say it. But most times I didn't really want to because I didn't know speaking is something you can learn and improve on. Because when I was in like around year 3, year 4, there was like this really nice assistant teacher, and she asked me, do you normally speak at home? Because I didn't used to talk at all at school. And I was like, I think so. I behaved the way I do at school. And she said, is it because you feel you're going to, you don't want to get into trouble? Because lots of people used to get in trouble. But I just said that I didn't really have anything to say, so I didn't really say anything. But now when I learn how to speak, I can express the way I think really easily.
So this was basically your relationship with speaking. Did you ever volunteer to speak on behalf of the class? That's before now, before year three.
No,
No. Isabel, how old are you now?
12.
12. I want everybody to keep that at the back of their minds so that when they hear you speak, they know exactly how old you are and the kind of wisdom that is coming out from your lips. So, SPTI 2024, SPTI Speak to Inspire contest is still a platform that it just gives me goosebumps every time I think about it. I love that platform, and that platform just God basically handed it over to me, right? I was thinking, oh, platforms like the TEDx, they already have it. Let me just leave it. But I heard it very clearly that the Speak to Inspire platform is much like TEDx. We can also create our own platform and not just wait for it to be handed down to us, right? And so the Speak to Inspire platform, uh, November 2024 was the very first time you and 9 other speakers were the very first speakers on that platform. So can you describe how it felt when you found out you were selected to speak on the Speak to Inspire contest?
I was really happy and then really proud of myself because it was like a chance to put everything that I had learned in the Speak Out Bootcamp to actual practice, like not just the tasks that I did in the Speak Up, but like actually putting together a speech and using all the gestures and everything I was taught, bringing it into one and then performing it in front of people. So I was really excited to be able to do that.
Awesome. So I just dropped a comment I'd like for you to see. Isabel, you speak like an adult. And it seems like you have so much to say. So did you expect to make the finals? Did you expect it? And while you were preparing, right, for the Speak to Inspire, we'll come to that. But did you expect that you'll ever make it to the finals?
I wasn't really sure what I expected because I remember on the day where we were like announcing the awards on YouTube, and then when it was time to announce the winners, I decided that I didn't want to stay in the living room anymore, and I went upstairs because I didn't really want to see what the results were. I wasn't sure if I expected to get to the finals or whether I just did well but not like the finals. But then I was like really happy when my sister came up and told me that I had come first runner up.
Interesting. I didn't For me, I think I was ready. I had an idea the number of people that were going to be first. I think so. And you were one of them. It was interesting that the judges thought the same, and thankfully, the audience also thought the same. Interesting that you came first runner up. It was a very hard choice between you and Jasmine. But how was the preparation like? So I believe that preparing for a contest, right, it stretches you to your limits. Like you literally get to your wits end. But for you, how was it preparing for the contest, before the contest?
When I was preparing, I found like writing the speech really challenging, but it wasn't too bad. But what I did struggle with was memorizing it. I struggled to like memorize lots of stuff, and since it was like a 5 to 7 minute speech, I thought I wasn't going to be able to memorize it and I was just going to have to wing it. But I actually memorized it because I was used to all the tasks in the Speak Out Bootcamp where you just do like a 2 minute speech and you can read it out or like have it pasted somewhere. And so I didn't know people actually memorize their speeches, but I think memorizing it helped me because then it could take my focus away from the paper and more into like expression and gestures.
Yes.
I practiced every day so that I'd be able to keep remembering it. But I actually enjoyed preparing for it.
I enjoyed listening to you. So, Isabel, there's this one time that I can never forget in the speaker boot camp, right? When I think I had mentioned before, it was before SPTI, and I had mentioned that you should start using gestures. Using gestures, was it something that came naturally to you or something that was really difficult for you?
It wasn't, I didn't find it very natural. I just
Yes.
normally like stood really still and just out all the words. But the more I began to try and put effort into using it, the easier it became.
So when I told you to start using gestures, right, and for you to use your facial gestures as well as your hand gestures, I expected for it to be gradual. So today I was just taking a quick, I was reflecting on your experience at the boot camp and at the SPTI, and I expected for it to be a gradual process for you, but you blew my mind away with one video that you shot, and you left me literally with my mouth agape. And I was just thinking, is this Isabel? No way, this isn't Isabel. Your hand gestures, your facial gestures, your eye contact, everything was on point. How did you get to that point? Isa? Okay.
Um, I I always I did it really gradually, and like every time we had a task, I'd normally you'd give us one thing to add in, like for example you give us gestures and we have to use gestures. So the more I did that, the easier it got, and then I did all of them together without thinking, because it was just natural that when I'm speaking I should add all these things in to make a good speech.
I love it. I just love listening to you, Isabel. And I think one of your superpowers is not just your leadership qualities and your research skills, it's also your voice. I feel like your voice is one of your superpowers. If you agree with me, please put it in the chat box right now. If you're following this conversation, I need for you to show Isabel some love. Show Isabel, how come I'm not seeing mommy in the comment section? I need to highlight your comment so Isa can see how she's doing, right? So yes, let's have more comments, everyone. So now we're going to talk about leadership, Isabel. So your speech on the SPTI, Speak to Inspire contest, was on leadership. So what's something SPTI experience, right, taught you about leadership?
It taught me that public speaking is a kind of leadership, and it's like you're guiding people through whatever message you're conveying to the audience. And if you're really clear and honest about it, people actually listen to you. Because I used to think leadership was like when I was in primary school, the big year sixes that were head girl and head boy, and they're like in charge of the school and they're really big and scary. But public speaking is also a different kind of leadership, but you're leading the moment that you're speaking.
Mm, you're leading the moments that you're speaking. There's something you said in your speech, how just little things actually, how you can lead in little things, like making there's a stressful moment or everyone is sad, how you can just speak. I remember your speech, Isabel, every single part of it. So how you can just speak in that moment and you make everybody laugh and you just diffuse the tension in the room, how that is leadership. Now I want to ask you this question. Can you share a moment when you had to take initiative or lead during or after the program? A moment where you had to take initiative to be the leader. You weren't necessarily selected to be a leader, but you just took the initiative and you learned.
So in the actual when I was preparing for the contest, I realized at some point that I couldn't just wait for someone to tell me what to say.
Mm-hmm.
I had to
Mm-hmm.
step up and prepare my own speech and
Yes, ma'am.
decide like cut down what is important and what's not. And no one else can do that for me because it's my speech. And even after the contest, I attended. There was this year 7 presentation we had to do in front of the rest of year 7, and I told everyone on the day that we should try and look at the audience and think of them as all our friends in year 7 and not scary people that are waiting for you to fail or something.
Yeah. I love it. I just love listening to you. Coach JD said something. She said her voice just keeps you hooked. Like, speak to me, Queen. Speak to me. So, speak to us, Queen. Do you now see yourself as a leader?
I see myself as a leader most
Tell us about
times,
it.
especially when
Yes.
I'm speaking. Like, it's not
Mm-hmm.
like bossing people around, it's showing up and sharing your opinion and things like that really clearly and maybe inspiring someone to do something as well. And if my voice can help someone else find their voice, it's leadership as well.
Helping someone find their voice is leadership as well. Have you ever helped someone find their voice?
Um, there's this girl in my old school that she used to be really quiet, but when her friends started being really confident and everything, she also became confident, and I found it really fascinating. I found it really fascinating the way that if you're inspired to do something, you can do it.
So you inspired her. Did she start speaking up?
Yeah.
She said speaking up
Sh-
immediately or after a
Yeah.
while.
It took a bit like a term or so of school. I remember at the beginning of school she was really quiet,
Mm-hmm.
but after a while she had friends that were like started confident. It took like it wasn't really it wasn't very slow.
So I at the Prospeak Life Academy, right? One thing that is at the core of our vision is that when a child finds their voice, it's basically like finding themselves, finding that their opinion matter, that their voice matters, that wherever it is they are, they can speak up, they can speak out, and they can stand tall. It's in our core value. So, what do you think there was ever a time when you sort of couldn't find your voice, and what did you do about it? What would you have others do about it too? Was there a time you weren't really using your voice, and then tell us about the time you found your voice and how you think others can find theirs. So today we're really talking about why finding your voice is the first step to leading others, right? So was it, you mentioned earlier that there was a time you weren't speaking out, and in class too you weren't speaking out. Did finding your voice, was it something that now made you a leader, made you confident in who you have become or becoming, Isabel? Isabel, are you there? Isa? Okay, so I think we're having a bit of a network challenge with Isabel. As soon as she comes back, we'll put her back on. So if you've been enjoying the moment with us, if you've been having fun listening to Isabelle share how she found her voice and how she's leading. Yes, Isabelle lives in the United Kingdom, and just listening to her is inspiring. So what are your thoughts in the comment section? I'm trying to read the comment section, and Abe says, finding your voice is like getting liberated or getting set free from limitations. I love that. I totally love that. So finding your voice is, I wrote a book on finding your voice. Yes, it's on Seller and you can get it easily. I wrote a book on finding your voice. I just believe that when you find a voice, when you find your voice, nothing can hold you. Yes, like Abiodun said, no limitations. It's like you've been set free, literally, from just having your voice and talking it inside. I remember way back when I was in primary school, right? I just felt like staying behind and not saying anything, even when I knew the answers, was the thing to do until I began to use my voice. And yes, it is liberating. Isabelle is back, and we're going to continue on this conversation for a few more minutes before I let her go. Isabelle, welcome back. We lost you for a bit, but it's so good to have you back. Okay, so I was trying to frame that question, and I think that what I want to ask you is, how can finding your voice lead you to leading, inspire you to be a leader? Finding your voice, how does it inspire you to become a leader? I think that's basically the question I was trying to ask you earlier before the network threw you out. So do you think there's a link? Do you think there's a link between the two? Finding your voice and becoming a leader. Does one lead to the other or vice versa? Just share your thoughts with us. Can a leader lead without finding their voice? Can a leader lead without speaking up? Can you lead in silence? Share with us, Isa.
I feel like it's quite vital to find your voice to lead others, because if you want to lead others, they'd want to know why you're a good person to lead them, and if you can't speak to them, it kind of ruins your chances. So if you're a good speaker, it makes you also more confident, and that's also a trait you need to be able to be a good leader. So I feel like you should find your voice first and be able to speak to an audience, and then gradually you be able to also be a leader as well.
Interesting. So if it is vital to find your voice to lead others, can somebody help me put that in the chat box? Isabelle, can you see your friend Shalomit? She says, Shalomit here, you rock, Isabelle. I'm trying to say it in her voice. So being confident is another trait, a skill that you know that you need to lead others so that it doesn't ruin your chances. Right. Isabelle, can you please help me? Where are my commenters? Please help me put everything Isabelle is saying in the comment section. Isabelle says it is vital to find your voice to lead others. Very interesting. It's like the first thing you do before you lead others. So the interesting thing about speaking is that you need to say what you know so others can trust you to lead them. So you can't just say, oh, I can lead you, I can do this, I can do that, without saying the things that you know. You need to be able to speak up so we can trust you to lead us. So Isabelle, really, what does leadership mean to you? What does it mean to you? Generally speaking, yes, you need to be able to speak to lead others, but what does leadership mean to you? When you hear the word leadership, What does it mean to you? Isabel?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear me, Isabel? Mm. Okay, so we are just going to take Isabel out and wait for her to be back. I think that network is trying to play a number on us, but there's no stopping us, no turning back right now. So, yes, thank you for joining us again, everybody. And I hope that you're having a good time, right? So, yes, we've been having the beautiful research queen, the leader, inspiring leader, join us today, Queen Isabel. And we've been talking about why finding your voice is the first step to leading others. Why finding your voice is the first step to leading others. And Isabel is again here with us. Isabel, I was asking earlier, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Isabel?
Yeah, sorry, the Wi-Fi is really bad.
Ah, I noticed. So, what does leadership mean to you? Hopefully, we can finish this before it goes completely bad. What does leadership mean to you? Share with children who are afraid to lead, who are afraid, in fact, afraid to speak, and then afraid to lead. Tell them what leadership means and how they can become leaders, even in their little spaces. The Wi-Fi is really bad and we have lost Isabel again. So I want to share a quick story before I invite you all to bring your children, enroll your children for the Speak Out boot camp. We have 3 boot camps running concurrently in the academy, and I'm excited to invite you to enroll your children. But before I do, let me tell you a little story. Now, way back in, let me not try to remember, donkey years back when I was in primary school. So I was that child who was comfortable just being in the back and not speaking out. Interestingly, I had this teacher who loved to call me. You know how you just have a teacher who tries to, maybe because you don't speak up, they just try to want to bring you out of your shell. And I kept looking for excuses. I shared this story a while ago. I kept looking for excuses why I wouldn't be in his class. But one day I finally did speak up. Till today, I cannot remember exactly what I said, whether it was right or not. But I think that was kind of a turning point for me in class. I began to find the confidence really to speak up a bit more. And it transformed my mind. It transformed my mind, being able to speak, being able to interesting thing is that teacher didn't break my spirit. He didn't break my spirit. He kept saying, yes, that's not quite it, but this is what you can do better. And this is where parents come in. So your child speaks at home, but doesn't speak outside. We have a lot of that. Like Isabel shared earlier. She was okay speaking in the house, but speaking in school was difficult. So your child speaks at home, but not outside. Please do not break their spirit when they're doing it in the house. Don't tell them, oh, you speak at home, you make a lot of noise, but at school, you are not speaking. I think that where you can help is just create environments where they can speak and feel safe. So interesting thing is that they probably feel safer at home speaking, but not outside. So one thing you can do for them is bring them into the academy where we have curated intentional safe speaking spaces where they can speak without judgment, where they can speak, where they feel free to express themselves. And we have 3 boot camps right now running concurrently in the academy. We have a physical boot camp that is happening live in Abuja in August, and we only have limited slots available for just 30 children, and it's going for just 60,000 naira physical class all of August. So you select 2 days that's convenient for you and your child will attend. We also have the July boot camp, which is specially curated for children in the diaspora and borders and is running all through July. Saturdays, Fridays and Saturdays. Fridays and Saturdays. Then we have the 6-month Speak Out boot camp, one of which Isabelle happens to be a graduate from the very, very, very first Speak Out boot camp in the academy in 2024. It ran from July to December, and we had a great time, as you can see. Isabelle, welcome back.
My,
The Wi-Fi is trying to become a clog in our wheels, but we're bigger. Yes, we are. Let's focus. Finding your voice is the focus in public speaking. Thank you so much, Shalomit, and thank you for following. So, Isabelle, we're talking earlier on, and I was asking, what does leadership mean to you? What do you have to say to a child who feels like, I can't even speak up? Why do I even need to lead?
I would say that you're never too young or small or too quiet to lead, because if as long as you know what you have to say and you have an opinion on things, then people will want to listen, and it's always worth giving it a go to share your voice, and you can always learn to speak, just like in Coach Joy's boot camps and sessions. It's something you can learn and become good at. It's like a skill that you can practice.
Yeah.
So, and anyone can do it.
Okay. So, Isabelle, public speaking, do you think is an important skill for every child to have?
Yes, I think it's important because there are lots of stuff you can do in all over the world, like even from school to when you're older, presentations and people who are really famous and they go on TED Ed, they have to learn to speak, because if they can't speak, they will really struggle. And so, and even if you're just in a workplace, in work, you still do presentations and things like that. And if you want to do well in it, you should learn how to speak and do those kind of things.
Beautiful. Now, my next question is, I know that you're always passionate about some courses, you're always passionate about doing research. So, what have you been up to lately? Are there courses or topics that you're now passionate about speaking? And how are you going about it? Do you speak up in school? Is there a course you're passionate about right now? I know you always have something. So share with us. Is there a course you're passionate about right now? Is it on leadership? Is it on climate change? Is it on research? Share with us. We'd like to know.
I think right now I'm passionate about people like who are my age but are on social media, and they're seeing all those people who are like Miss Perfect, and they feel really sad because they're not like that, because lots of my friends, they use so much makeup and stuff so that they can look really nice, but they still feel like they are not looking really nice. And my parents taught me about identity crisis and how people our age don't know who they are, so they want to follow everyone they see online. And I think I'm really passionate about making sure that everyone knows that they are different, because those people online are different from everyone else, and that's why everyone wants to follow them. So the teens themselves should be they should be different and happy to be themselves.
They should be different and happy to be themselves. I love that. So how are you doing this? Are you speaking about it in class? Where exactly are you speaking? And do not forget that this is a platform where you can share with us whatever the world is listening, where you can share this course with us. We want to hear about it. We want to support it. We want to be able to relate to it and also share this message that you have with the world. So go on.
I haven't executed it yet, but
Okay.
during summer when I'm off school and I have lots of time, I think I want to, because my mum's been encouraging me to do something like a faceless YouTube channel where I can share lots of stuff with them, but I don't have to show my face, so it's safe. And I can make it look really pleasing and really nice for people who are my age, and they can watch it and they can be inspired and they can also learn from some stuff from it. But I don't have to show who I am.
I
And I
love it,
feel like it can
Isabel.
impact lots of people if it actually goes.
Yes, yes. It will impact a lot of people. It's so beautiful to see that you did not drop your touch and you keep shining your light to the entire world. And I would love to see how I can help. I would love to be able to help you in whatever capacity that you want that, right? Help so that your message can go, can inspire others. I love that. I love that you're a leader and you're leading in your space. I love it. I knew this was going to happen, right? I didn't expect it was going to start now. And here we have your mommy's comment. I'm excited. So Isabel, quickly, why do you think that young people, you just talked about how you want to be heard, how you want to be able to change others, to be able to tell them that they should be they should be comfortable in their own skin, right? So why do you think young people need to do what you're doing even more? Why do you think they need to speak up? Why do you think they need to speak out?
I feel like everyone nowadays is always hiding behind their phones and just consuming stuff online, but it's the adult generation right now who are creating all the stuff and we're not doing anything, we're just consuming all the stuff, and by the time we're the adults there won't be anything to consume because everyone's not doing anything. And
Yeah.
speaking is a good way to create stuff, to be
Yes.
able to, for other people to be able to watch, and you
Yes.
can be a creator and not a consumer all the time.
Oh my God. If somebody putting this in the chat room, we can be creators and not consumers. And speaking is a way for us to speak about what we care about and what we want the world to know. This is very inspiring, Isabel. So what do you want to go on? I feel like you're not done. Do you want to go on?
um
So
I think
young people should keep creating
they should
and
keep
not just consuming.
so that we can all, because it can be inspired. Once you start something, you can
Yes.
it's easy to keep on going
Yes.
because it's hard to start,
It's hard to start.
but once you get into it, it's really easy, and you feel happy doing
Mm-hmm.
it, and it's
Yes.
also a productive thing to do.
I love listening to you, Isa. And I hope the audience is enjoying this as well. I love listening to you, and you constantly dropping words of wisdom for your age. It's inspiring. So I'll quickly go to, can you share a few tips that helped you become more confident? Because everybody in the chat room is saying Isabelle is so composed, calm, and confident. Can you share tips to children who feel less than themselves, who feel like they're not enough, who feel like they're not beautiful enough, they're not who are afraid of what people would say if they stand up to speak up? Confidence tips. What are those things that helped you gain more confidence and share with the world?
I started to remember that people want to listen to what I have to say, and I'm not just speaking to a brick wall. I'm speaking to people, and they're listening, and they want to hear what I'm saying, and they're not all against me. It made me feel a bit more confident and eager to share stuff. And when I was practicing to speak, when I was practicing for my contest speech, I always practiced every day in my mirror after brushing my teeth or anything. I'd
Yes,
practice in my mirror, and
yes.
practicing out loud kind of made me gain more confidence, because
Confidence.
it made me know that I know what to say, and
Yes.
if I know what to say, then that's most of it covered.
If you know what to say, most of it is covered. Love it, Isabel. I'm taking notes. Go on.
I when I was also speaking, when I'd forget something for like a second, when I did my actual recording, and there was a bit where I forgot it for like a second, but I used pauses to make everyone think that it was like a dramatic pause, and I did it on purpose. And it did when I knew that the audience, it didn't look that bad to the audience. It made me feel
Yes.
more confident that I did better at it.
Yes. Yes. So Isabel, this reminds me of a situation. I think it was a couple of years ago when I was still trying to improve on my public speaking skills, right? So I joined the Toastmasters platform and I spoke, I think it was my icebreaker speech. So the icebreaker speech is the very first speech you get to give before you start giving other speeches, right? So I started to speak and I actually forgot my words. Now, after you speak, you get an evaluator to evaluate your speech and then give you feedback, right? And the evaluator comes and say, I absolutely loved your use of pauses. I said, what? I was trying to remember my words. But yes, pauses and silence are very powerful tool in public speaking. And I love to hear you speak because you use them comfortably. So most people I know are afraid of taking a pause. So they just feel like when we keep going, when I just keep talking, it shows that I'm confident. But no, that time you take a pause and allow your audience to take in everything that you're saying, allow them to digest what it is your message is very powerful. And I love that you use it all the time. Well done, Isabel. So before I let you go, Isabel, thank you so much for speaking with us tonight. Before I let you go, why let me ask you one quick question. Who were those people you think that helped you during your Speak to Inspire journey? Who were those people that were helpful to you?
My parents, because they always listened to my practice speeches, even if they've heard it like a million times. And also the mentors at the Speak to Inspire. contents, especially Coach Joy and my private mentor. They didn't really try to change my voice. They just helped me sharpen it and refine it and make it even better, and encouraged me all through the process.
So what did your parents and teacher or mentors do that really stood out for you? Maybe something one person did. You can just share. Is it your parents? Is it your mentor? Is it your teachers? Who did something that stood out for you during that period?
It's the fact that they didn't try to like take over or tell me what to say. They just gave me space to
Be you.
be me and just
Hmm.
figure it out, but with guidance and coaching and helping me refine everything and being there for me. And they reminded me that messing up isn't like the end, it's just part of the process.
Yay! I love it when you speak, Issa. I hope someone is in the comment section putting this down. She said, "So figure it out." Her mentors let her figure it out, but with guidance, telling her that the mess up is only part of the process. I love that. And that's what we do in the academy. Allow your children figure it out, allow them mess up and rise up again, mess up and rise up again. So something interesting happened, right? One of the speaker boot campers in the cohort 1 of 2025 was someone that kept running out of the room. Once you call his name, he runs out of the room. Once you call his name, oh, it's your turn to speak, he runs out of the room. And he made a presentation once. First, it was a video, and I was totally blown away. Then it was a live presentation, and I could not believe my eyes. So in 6 months, the journey seemed slow. It seemed like a painful process because growth most times feels very painful. But at the end of the day, it turned out to become an amazing, amazing speaker. And now I just love to listen to him. I like to share in the academy that is my personal testimony, really. And so I'm so glad that Isabel, you said this. Messing up is part of the process. Messing up, making mistakes is part of the process. So it's not about perfection. I loved how you also mentioned that speaking in the mirror helps, right? Before I start giving speeches, and Isabel, let me tell you this. I don't know if you know that I spoke on the TEDx platform. Yes, I spoke on
Really?
TEDx. Yes. So what happened is I found out I was going to speak on a Wednesday. I wrote my speech Wednesday night. Yes, I wrote my speech Wednesday night come Thursday morning, and I presented the speech on Saturday. Same week. Found out I was going to be speaking on Wednesday. I was going to say no. But I reminded myself that what would I be teaching the children at the Prospeak Life Academy? Right? And so I took up the challenge. I wrote the speech Wednesday night and Wednesday morning, and I was ready to present on Saturday morning. So memorizing your speech, I listened to you talk about how you memorize your speech and how you practice in front of the mirror. So memorizing your speech is not about knowing verbatim or saying verbatim everything that you had written down. It's just knowing your speech, knowing it so much that you could replace whatever, and you could replace the words that you wrote without losing the message that you want to share with the world. And so, Isabel, I want to say a very big thank you. I want to say you have inspired me tonight. I love listening to you, and I'm sure that you've inspired members of our audience. Hey, audience, are you inspired? If you are, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. We keep speaking to young people every day, young people who have found their voices and they are not afraid to use it. And yes, You will listen. Isabel, what's your final message to children who are afraid to use their voices? So everyone's got a voice, but using it is something totally different. What's your message to children who are maybe yet to dig out, excavate, go through the painful process of getting their voice out and then using it to inspire and to lead?
I would say that you shouldn't be scared to do it. It's like getting into a cold swimming pool. If you dip your legs into the water, it
Yes.
will take way longer than if you just jump in. So, when you're trying to learn to speak, you should just dive into it and start. It will be hard, like it will be hard to get used to the cold water, but eventually you'll be able to do it and you become really confident and be able to lead people with your voice.
Wow. It's just jump right in. You heard Isabel. Jump right in. Don't just put your feet in the water. Jump right in. It might be hard at first, but you get really used to it and you start showing up confidently. Isabel, last words for parents about supporting their children to speak up and speak out. And of course, join the boot camp.
I'd say thank you first because all the adults listen and they support and they encourage us, and it really helps us to grow. And all we need is just a little patience and trust for us to be able to learn to speak up and be really confident, because then we feel really safe and supported. And that's what Coach Joy and all the other mentors at the Speak Out Bootcamp, they all do. They create a really safe environment for you to be able to fail and try again and get better and better every time you practice.
Thank you so much, Isabel. Thank you so much. It was such a joy having you on today's live. And if you leave me, I just want to continue having this conversation with you. I've enjoyed it myself and I've been inspired. Thank you so much for doing this. And a big thank you to your mama who is right here in the comments section. Thank you so much, ma'am. I am very, very, very proud of you. I love how intentional you are with your children. God bless you. Thank you so much. So, Isabel, before you leave, I have another quick game to play with you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. The world needs to, it's still the same game, right? So I have a different set of questions for you right now. Confidence means
Not being afraid of what everyone will say, but delivering your message without fear of judgment.
my voice is
Heard.
my voice is heard. The stage is a place where I
Inspire and
I
I
love it.
grow myself as well.
I love it. I found my voice when
I joined the Speak Out Bootcamp and I began to speak.
the world needs to hear
People's voices.
I may be young, but I
am strong.
I love it. Speaking up feels like
Speaking up feels like a mountain that you climb, but you feel really happy when you get to the top.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Isabelle Adams. Spoken like a true leader who inspires. I love you, Isabel. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for doing this with us tonight. I love speaking with you, Isa. Thank you so much. And a big thank you to Mama. I'm going to be seeing you soon. I hope, because we have the cohort 2 of the speaker bootcamp, which is strictly for leaders like you. Leaders like you, we're going to be having real life projects. So you're going to go out there and execute projects. And so it's not just about speaking, just coming to speak. No, it's about executing real life projects, just like the leader that you are. Thank you, Isabel. What last words do you have to say to everyone on the live session who's been saying, go, Isabel, go, Isabel, go?
I want to say thank you for supporting me and making me feel heard, and for you, and to encourage the other children like me to be able to use their voice and not be afraid of using it, because no one's going to bite you for using it, and it will all come to great use.
Thank you so much, Isa. Thank you. And we hope that you will oblige us the next time we call you. Have a good night, baby. I love you. I love you. Love you, love you. And don't stop speaking. Don't stop speaking. What a night. What a night. What a personality. What a leader. Thank you so much, Isabel, for doing this with us. Isabel, you've not only spoken, you've sparked something in all of us, every single one of us. To every parent who showed up tonight, who tuned in, let this be your reminder. Your child's voice is a treasure that you must nurture. So don't wait until they are older and it becomes a problem. Build their confidence today. Start now. Start right now. So in the academy, the cohort 2 of the speaker bootcamp begins in July. Yes, on Tuesday. And registration is still open. However, we're closing the registration by tomorrow, Monday. So let your child become the next bold voice that we get to celebrate like Isabel's. And if you love tonight's session, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button right now, right now. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a moment of transformation, inspiration, leadership, and growth. Because here at Prospeak Live Academy, we don't just teach public speaking, we raise leaders, we raise courageous voices, and we raise world changers. You heard Isabel, she's a world changer in the making. So what do you get to do now? Enroll. Enroll by calling the number scrolling on your screen right now. Remember, I said we have 3 boot camps running concurrently. Enroll, let your child's voice be heard. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you for staying right to the end. Do not forget, you're a voice that is unleashed to the world. Your child's voice can cause a change, and is a treasure that must be nurtured. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. And until I see you again, same time, last Sunday of the month in July, do have a lovely, lovely week. Bye, everybody.